Pick up the mic and make some noise. Raise your voice. Hey everyone, it's Ari, and welcome back, or not welcome back, welcome to the finale of Raise Your Voice. It's so weird to hear me say that because for so long I've kind of been like dreading this episode because I was like, this episode has to like make a bit of a punch, like it has to be like the finale, you know, it has to be like iconic. But the way Hi-Rise is going right now, I think this is kind of like perfect timing because so much is happening right now, and I'm kind of sad to be ending it because I know there's going to be a lot more changes in the future that I should be covering, you know, but for now this is going to be the finale. I don't know, maybe there'll be season 2, but anyway, this is the finale, this is the last episode, and I'm still like in shock, like this is the last episode, you know, this is real. Like I've been working so hard for the past few months to make this podcast, even though it's not like a really like big podcast, like it's still something I've been working really hard on, and it's taken so much time, and we're finally here. And you know, without further ado, I'll just, you know, get started, you know. So today I'm joined by a few people that you probably already know. They've been on my podcast before, and I like to call them like veterans, you know, like all-stars, because, you know, they've been featured before. They were actually voted in by community vote. A lot of you guys voted for these three to come back, so, you know, I brought them back. And I mean, I'm just gonna let them introduce themselves. Like, y'all already know them, but like, are you guys ready? Oh my gosh.
Ready.
Y'all don't sound ready. Like I said, we're joined by some very special guests that have already been on the show, and I don't really think they need to introduce themselves, but for the listeners who haven't listened to my previous episodes with these three gremlins, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Alex from Hi-Rise. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alex from Hi-Rise. Moving on. Anyway.
Surprise! I'm back. Silvershadow returning for 2 deuces. We here, boys.
You thought you'd see the last of me? See the dying content creator who doesn't post anymore.
Wow.
How do you respond to that? Like,
Anyway, yeah, I brought these three back because of community vote, and we're just gonna talk about a lot of stuff that has been happening in the community lately. And oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, it's like I woke up a few hours ago, but I drank coffee and I was awake for a little bit, but now I'm tired again. But anyway, let's just get started. Mind you guys that we are very unprepared for this episode, but it's okay because we've been very familiar with these topics for the last few weeks, so I'm pretty sure we have a lot to say. So tired. I'm like out of breath already. I didn't even say that much.
Me.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is kind of like a preface to this entire episode, which is all the drama, all the tea that has been happening. I wouldn't really call it drama. Like, I mean, it's drama, but I hate saying drama because I'm just going to try to explain stuff that's been happening for the past few weeks just for context. But if you guys want to chime in and like say some facts or like just like add some details in, I'd love that because I have been so out of touch with everything happening. I've been like purposely ignoring some parts of it because I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this right now. But anyway, I'll just get started. So this entire year has been kind of a mess in real life and on Hi-Rise for some reason, even though Hi-Rise is supposed to be kind of like a escape from reality, like a virtual world where you can just like have fun and just like take everything lightheartedly, you know. But instead we brought the real world onto Hi-Rise, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But to me, I'd like to kind of say that this, like all this like drama and all this like bad stuff that's been happening kind of started around the same time that our Pride event was taking place, which is kind of like around June, I think. Yeah, June is Pride month, so June. Because it was also the time where like we were switching to HR2 or beta as everyone knows it, and there were just like a lot of bugs and server issues and like lack of communication from staff, and there was just like chaos overall. And because of like all these like server bugs and stuff, a lot of people start to like riot, like quote unquote riot because there were just so many issues that were not being fixed immediately, like everyone wants like everything now to be done. And there was just so much like lack of staff and moderation, and it was just like messy, and it was just like chaotic, and like there started to be like this divide between the community. I kind of noticed like we used to I like to say that we're a good community where we kind of all stick together, but lately that has not been the case. Everyone just started dividing, like literally everyone. It was just like a mess. Like CCC were like their own group, like players were their own group, like everyone was just divided and against each other, and we were all just fed up with like everything in general. And so as a result of that, Anton, I don't even know how to explain him. Like, what's his position in staff? He's just like staff to me.
I think
He's the
like,
co-owner of High Rise.
yeah, I consider him like the CEO of High Rise, if that's a good title.
So it's like
Okay.
him and Jimmy, I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
him
what
and
the
Jimmy.
co-owner's the right word for it. So yeah, Mr. Co-owner Anton, he set up these meetings, like Zoom meet. I just bit my tongue.
Ha.
What do you mean, huh? Okay, so Anton set up these like meetings, like Zoom meetings with CCC only, where we could just like vent and talk about our problems with him, and he would just like write down notes and be like, "Yeah, we'll work on it." And our first meeting was really chaotic. We didn't record or anything. It was just kind of like a
Testing the
test.
waters kind of deal.
It's kind of like putting your
Yeah.
toes in the water, you know? So it was chaotic and unorganized and messy, and I don't think anything got done, but it was just kind of like it was an experience. It was a time. But then we got to our second meeting, which was very recently, and I recorded it, and it was also kind of a mess, but it was a bit more organized. But since we kind of exposed that meeting to the public, everyone was mad. So many people were mad. I don't think I've seen like a single person who was actually happy that we got that meeting. And it
Actually,
was,
I
like-
got some PMs that people were like, "Thank you for posting, so we know what's going on. Thanks
Oh
for
my
like the
gosh.
transparency."
Really?
And it's like if we hadn't posted that, then everyone's gonna be like, "Well, they were just kissing ass the
Yeah.
entire time."
Oh my gosh. I was about to say like if no one, because Anton didn't record it. He said he would, but he didn't because he missed the button apparently. And I was just wondering, like, what if I hadn't recorded that? Everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, they're trying to hide stuff from us. Like CCC are just kissing up the staff." Like,
Like that's not what we were doing. Flock literally tore into him. She no mercy. That was so brutal.
it was like I don't understand. Like everyone who's like CCC are kissing up. Like I don't think they even like watched the meeting. Like they were just like.
Exactly.
Oh, like we not we, like you guys said so much to him that was like poor guy, you know. Like it was just brutal, and everyone's like they're kissing up and they keep agreeing with staff, and I'm just like, that's literally, are we watching the same meeting? Because like it's...
Literally.
But anyway, so yeah, that meeting happened, and a lot of people are just mad because like the main point was that CCC, like only CCC could join. Like why can't regular people join? And we're gonna talk about that later, but like people were just mad, and it was just chaotic, and that kind of wait till they see the very first meeting. I know they should have hold on, they're like, I wish they saw the first meeting and how much it improved. It like the second meeting improved from that, because like it was just a mess. And like right now it just seems like people are just against CCC in general, kind of because like we're the stepping stone to staff in a way. Like they can't get mad at staff directly, so they're gonna get mad at us. And there's just been a lot of harassment in general, and yeah, that's the context. Our first topic for this episode is just gonna be like a response to all of this. Like, what do you guys think of all of this that's been happening?
Well,
Y'all want me to go to first?
if you want.
Okay. So I personally have been having I can't curse, can I? I've been having a hard time getting my way through these past 2 weeks. It's been the most hectic and toxic week of my life. And that's not even an exaggeration. That's just how most people are feeling right now. And this isn't the abuse that the staff has taken. Well, I shouldn't say abuse. The harassment that the staff has been taking isn't new. We're talking about years. How long has High Rise been a thing? Like 6 years?
Like 5.5, I think. 6.
Yeah, and they've been taking these constant attacks and harassment that for years. This isn't new, and people are acting like it's new. But what is new is that for like one of the first times in like high-rise history is that people are stepping up and they're defending the staff from all of the harassment. And as CCC, we are people who take a lot of hits and a lot of harassment from the community. And I guess we kind of relate to them in a way that we don't know exactly what they're going through, but we see that it's probably not good on their end. And I'm not saying everyone needs to like bow down to him and worship him like a god, but give the dude a break, because he's not a robot. These are real people. These are actual factual people. These are living, breathing human beings, and it's sickening that people forget that they are actual people. And there's 50K of us and like 30 staff members, and my opinions on the Zoom meeting stands. Most of the content creators have shown that they can behave and contribute to these calls in a mature way, and there are people who want to be on the calls, but they have demonstrated that they are incapable of talking in a very civilized manner to the staff. So it's just more than likely that regular players aren't going to be allowed on these meetings. And that's not to say we're not going to try. That's just to say we just don't know, because it's not up to us who's on the meeting. It's up to Anton. It's up to the staff members. It's up to those people for what happens.
Period.
It's like
Agree.
I just don't really understand why so many people are just mad at CCC for being allowed into the meetings. Like, we're trying to act as their voice. It's not like we're trying to silence them and be like, only our opinions matter, not yours. Like, we're like people. I mean, CCC are actively like taking suggestions to like what we should talk about in the meetings and stuff. Like, we're not
Absolutely.
trying to like silence anyone. Just trying to be a voice, and people are trying to silence us, and it's just like it's counterproductive. Like, we're on your side. Why are you being against us? Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, we've been very public about the fact that we want you guys to PM us. We want you guys to tell us, give us suggestions about what you want brought up during this call so we can bring that up to Anton and get it on his radar. But you guys attacking us and telling us that we're just kissing ass when we're trying to help, we're doing the best that we can, it's not contributing. It's contributing to the problem, but it's not contributing to the solution.
Yeah.
I feel like people forget that we are regular players just like them. The only difference is we have a star and photos can get on Explorer. That's really all. Like, other than that, we're just regular players. Like, we're not staff or anything. Just
We
players.
don't get paid.
Yeah, exactly. Unless people like give us commissions, but other than that, no, we are not. We are not. We do not get paid for this. We are just regular players. And also, can I give my like input on like the whole like bug thing that High-Rise has been going through since the Pride event?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying, I do not understand why they have not like paused an event. No, not, I don't know if pause is the right word, but like they took a week off from like having events just to work on bugs. Like, it is obvious that there are like many bugs in this game, and it keeps on repeating, and yet the only thing that's done is just like, oh, here's a few energies and a couple spins. Hopefully that'll compensate the hundreds of energies you lost. But no, like, they just like, I understand why High-Rise is revolting. Like, I would have too, like, if I was an eventer, and like
Same.
I would have like rioted. I would have like gone off on High-Rise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just frustrating. Like, I totally see like reason to like the community's rioting, because they're just trying to like fix it during the event when these bugs happen. No, that's not gonna help. And like, even then, like, beta itself is a very like buggy app, and yeah, and like, again, like with some like recent things with like prizes not showing up in people's inventories, and like people complain, but like nothing being done about that. Like, that is frustrating, and that needs to be done. Instead of just like having events like continue on for like maybe take like a week or two off to try and fix the bugs, because in the end the game is just gonna lose more money if they like do this sort of thing instead of just leave the patch, or no, not leave the patch, but like leave the bugs.
the content creators have been very vocal about taking a break, and so has the community. But just
Yeah.
stopping, just stop. Okay, the back-to-back events when they started doing that, it's so exhausting. Oh, I hate it so much.
The last week or two has been really exhausting, I think, for the community. And I think more than anything, we need to stop attacking each other, because I feel like we've attacked each other a lot recently, and focus more on the issues. And I also just think that we need to find a way to move forward from all of this. I felt like the CCC meetings were a good idea, but like you guys said already, it's not possible to get everyone in a meeting, and there's a lot of people that have proven they shouldn't be in a meeting even though they've wanted to be. And I think overall that we should be grateful that we even have these meetings, because before this, I swear there was literally no communication. Like for the 2 years that I've been on here, like in 2019, 2018, I never saw staff really talk to the players or like explain, like I've never seen staff like talk to the players or explain what they're going to do with the app and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like we should be grateful that we have communication now, and that we can actually speak to staff. And
Like,
Yeah.
this is kind of like a once in a gazillion year opportunity for us to like actually voice our opinions like right in front of staff, and people are just trying to like take that opportunity away just to like have it for themselves. Like, we're on your side. Like, I don't know how many times we have to like emphasize that we're on your side, so work with us so we can get things done instead of like fighting all the time and like trying to like make us seem like the bad guys even though we're literally like on the same side. And it's just being counterproductive when people like try to attack us for no reason. Like, there's no reason.
I know, right?
Yeah, like
we're literally trying to fight for the exact same things that everyone else is trying to fight for, but people want to like bunch us in with staff and like call us all these different names. But like I feel like on a lot of subjects we think the same as what the general community thinks. Yeah.
Yeah.
and like people they call us like kiss ass, like even though like we want the same things as you guys, but like at the same time, like I feel like they call like they're saying like we're kissing ass because we like kind of sympathize with them, like we sympathize with their feelings. And well, like yeah, we do care about like feelings in a way. We still want things to be done. Like I have like been asking about mods since I believe March of 2019, and really nothing has been done about it except for like that filter thing. But like even then, like I still feel like mods should be hired, because like it's not just like about the nudity and all that, like that would come on the high rise and like stuff like that. But like there's still like harassment that like the admins themselves, they would need to like try to handle. But yeah.
And also, people need to realize that the CCC are a group of individual people with individual opinions, and so when they group us all as like we all kiss ass, we all love staff and everything like that, no, that's wrong. A lot of us have had problems with staff in the past before. I'm not naming names, but we're all different individuals. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Me.
it's really like disrespectful when like people just generalize us, because like I just don't really, I'm trying to like understand where people are coming from when they're like trying to make arguments against us, but like I just don't understand, because they're like y'all already know like that one hate like person, I don't even know what her name is anymore, I forgot it because she's she's so irrelevant that I don't remember. But she was like generalizing all of us, even people who weren't even like saying anything in the meeting, and she was like,
Trixie.
She's like, the meeting is perfect, you guys are kiss ups and whatever, and I'm just like,
We did.
Yeah.
We watched the same video.
we're not like, why are you generalizing us just because we're in the meeting? Like, some of us didn't even talk. I didn't even talk, and like, it's just like, why are you like, I understand if you have like a problem with us, that's fine if you have problems with us, but why can't you just like take it to DMs with proof, like actual proof, instead of like generalizing us and assuming stuff about us when it's not even true, and like you're not even trying to make like a real argument, you're just trying to start stuff. Like,
yeah, and like especially like with like them like trying to like quote unquote cancel Celeste, aka Ebony, like saying, oh, there's have you noticed that their style is like changing or different? Yeah, it's called improvement. Like
that was the stupidest post.
That's what I thought. Like, there. Don't you know that like their art like changes over time? They're not tracing. They're improving, and they show proof. She shows proof on her TikTok that she draws it.
And like along with like that account that was like harassing the content creators, they came after Trixie's honey, who is 14 and should not be involved with any of this because she doesn't need that kind of stress on her. Okay?
A queen.
She's a kid. And literally, she's literally the most unproblematic person on Hi-Rez, and I will stand by that. And if you're gonna talk shit, don't do it on an alt.
Thank you.
Like, you can confront someone and like, okay, this is like personal for me. You can confront me or just like anyone in general on your main. I really don't care. Like, I'm not gonna cancel you or anything. I don't care about that because I'm mature and I'm not gonna expose you just because you disagree with me, okay? Like, you can confront us and be mature about it. You don't have to run on your alt and be scared or whatever. Like, what are you scared of? We're not gonna do anything. Like,
and tag us in posts and then go private to where we cannot see those posts.
Like, it's obviously like attention-seeking behavior.
Like, if you have a problem, tell us, okay? I have taken messages and all kinds of stuff from people who have had problems with me, and I sat down with them for almost an hour, and I've talked to them. I've expressed that I see that you're upset with me, and I want to talk this out, and I want to get your feel in this situation, and I want to hear your side of the story. I've done that with multiple people, and it's always ended in a way that was very civilized, and, we ended in not yelling or attacking or arguments. Now, I do have my moments where I myself do get heated, but if you come to me and you sit down with me and you tell me that this is why this is wrong, I will hear you out. I do not have a problem with being in the wrong, but do not talk to me so disrespectfully and just outright mean.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like some people like don't see the difference between like criticism and actually like harassing someone or like being like flat out rude.
Yeah, and like the whole like cancel culture thing that's been going on, absolutely ridiculous.
Ooh, a perfect segue.
I have a lot to say, sis. I think some people who are watching this, maybe, I don't know, will know a lot of things that have been said about me recently. But I will say, with cancel culture, my opinion on it is that I do think it sucks, but I think in some cases being held accountable is important. And I know I felt very defeated when someone's tried to cancel me, quote unquote, cancel me before. A lot of the time it's just because some people don't like you and they'll find any reason to get everyone to hate on you. On the other hand, there are people on Hi-Rez who have made big mistakes, and I feel like it's important that they take accountability for those mistakes. And I think it's good that the Hi-Rez community makes sure that they are called out for that and, apologize and do whatever they need to do. But I think a lot of the time, cancel culture on Hi-Rez in particular can be so toxic because it is literally someone just trying to attack you because they don't like you. And they'll twist stuff, but we won't get into that. But anyway.
Like, I personally, like, don't like cancel culture at all. I think it's really stupid to cancel someone. But there are some, like, yeah, like you said, there are some times where it's okay to hold someone accountable. I think that time is when you've already tried to settle it out in PMs, if you already tried to, like, fizzle it out in private, but just didn't work. I think that's an kind of acceptable reason to take it to the public, but only if it's, like, if you're genuinely trying to, like, stop, like, bad behavior, not if you just disagree with them. If you just disagree with them, why do you... Like, who cares? Like, no one cares if you disagree with someone. Like, if it's, like, something petty, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, if it's just a petty problem, like, no one wants to hear about it. No one cares. But
the petty problem being moist.
But for some people, I don't understand why. For some people, they feel the need to, like, post about everything that they, like, have a problem with. But, like, I'm just gonna tell you right now, like, no one cares. Like... It's obvious when someone tries to cancel someone just to get some likes and reposts and some clout. Like, it's really obvious. Like, you can genuinely tell. And I try to, like, not give those kind of posts, like, attention because they don't deserve it. Like, no one cares. Like, shut up. Like, sell it out in private first, and then you can take it to the public. And the thing with Moist, oh my gosh, Moist has me so upset. But, like,
it was so stupid.
Like, I'll give some context, okay? So some context, is that we were just like CCC, just like 10 or so, like a dozen or so friends were just joking around like in CCC chat. And we're just like, oh, what if we made this funny like inside joke thing where we like post moist and like we make it seem like it's an exclusive event that like only CCC can join. It was an inside joke, okay? And we started posting it and hyping
It was
each
basically a
other's posts up.
commentary on the whole Met Gala thing.
Yes. We were just being like, oh, it's this exclusive event that's gonna happen soon, and we're just gonna hype each other's posts up and be like really funny about it. And people were so offended. I don't understand why so many people are offended. Like, it's an inside joke. I don't understand.
And it's just like they felt so left out of something that didn't exist. And like, it blows my mind how freaked out people will get when they feel left out of something. Like when Alex did the Met Gala, he made it very clear that if you PM him, he will give you a quote unquote invite. You know what? It ended up being Room of the Day and everyone went. So where's the problem? And people are getting mad that the content creators have their own Discord chat. It's just like a crew chat. And you know what we talk about? We talk about mulch. Mulch. And we have a Discord, and you know, I personally run that Discord, and it is exclusive to content creators, and it's just a safe space for everyone to share content and get opinions of things before they post them to make sure, is this okay, and we are very, very vocal about our opinions in said chat. And I even have a section in the Discord for people to put to put their topics for like the Zoom chats, so when people PM them, these things aren't overlooked and they're not ignored, because everything that happens in that Discord we address, and I am very strict on the rules in there, and I make it very clear that any drama that's on High Rise will not be in my Discord, okay? And it's like, you guys get so upset that you're left out of something. I'm sorry that you cannot be in everything, but you tried to cancel us for posting #moist. And that has to be the stupidest reason to cancel somebody I have ever heard.
Like, couldn't you tell it was a joke from the word moist? Like, what kind of serious event is named moist? Like, tell
Imagine
me.
if the new event's called Moist.
Moist style challenge.
Oh, free!
Like, it's obviously a joke. I can't.
Like, I know. Like, I hate feeling left out personally. Like, I haven't left out a lot, but like, I'm just saying, like, if you get left out of something, it's like not the end of the world. And like, I do see like being excluded. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. But at the same time, you can't be included in every single thing. But enough about that.
And like, people like and handed that they say the content creators club is exclusive. It is not, okay? Anyone can be a content creator. Just post some content. Anyone can do it. I did it. I make memes. They're crappy, but I still got a badge, you know? Literally anyone can do it. And I don't see why people think, oh, you have to apply and you have to be rich and you have to. I don't understand. It's not some exclusive club. Anyone can be a content creator. Just create content. And we even have a section where we recommend people to be content creators so Renee sees them. So I don't understand why everyone is so pressed about the content creators and saying it's exclusive club when literally it's just a badge. And we get the option, or not the option. We get to get on Explore faster. But that doesn't even matter anymore since they're getting rid of Explore. So I don't understand where you know, I don't understand.
Wait, what would the point of being like? What would the point of having content creators like? Oh wait, I need to reword that. What would the point of like content creators like have anymore? Like, since Explorer is gonna be gone, the only thing that we have is just the badge, and that's all. No,
Explore being gone is temporary anyway. But
oh wait, temporary edit? I thought it was gonna be forever.
No.
No,
He said it's temporary because so they can figure out a system and a way to keep all the toxic stuff off Explorer. That's why they're removing it temporarily. But I think the content creators might get some different perks. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I hope they like change up the algorithm a little bit.
Actually, because I'm tired of seeing giveaway posts on Explorer, and I'm tired of seeing all the I'm looking for this at the very top of Explorer. Like, that doesn't belong there. What?
Like, it is like a little bit like frustrating, like try to get your like content like on Explorer now because like this new like of this like current algorithm being like in the new app, because like, you know, like how there's like so many new players out now, and like back then, like a few months ago, like you would just be on top of Explorer with probably like 20 likes, and like the most you would get out of this is like 100 if you're lucky. And now everyone can get like, oh, you can get like
1,000.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm like the moment that I first saw that, I was like, what is happening? Is there a glitch?
Sometimes it's ridiculous, and the algorithm does need to be reformed. That's absolutely true, and I don't think they should be pushing the same people. But and this is, we're going over this, but at the same time people are going to be like, oh, well, they're talking about not getting likes, and that's super like entitled. Like they all came after Lauren after the Zoom call, because she brought up the algorithm and likes, and that was literally just a leftover topic from last week, or not last week, but the last Zoom call. And it doesn't make any sense to me, because yes, she brought up the likes, but she was speaking in general about everyone. She was not speaking on just the content creators. And I think when you watch that, you were cherry picking from the video to see what we would say that was wrong and to use it against us.
Honestly. Ooh. And like, I mean, I wasn't like, I'm saying like, in the algorithm really does need to be changed up, because like you only see like the same few people. No hate to them, by the way. They are really talented. I like their content, but
absolutely,
at the same time, like, it's really only them you see, and not really a lot of like other people who do make content.
That's why it takes so long for other people to get verified, because we don't know who they are. We don't see them on Explore. We don't see them in posts. We don't see them tagged in comments. And yeah, the algorithm needs to be changed, and absolutely. And I just don't think it's fair for you to attack one person just for bringing that up and bringing up the like things, because she's a small creator anyway. So she had a very valid reason for that, because we want to feel like when we post content, we want to feel like this is, our time is worth it, that you guys are liking the content that we post, and that you see this and you're like, oh, this is something I want to see more of. Like, share, whatever.
And that's like the same for other platforms too. Twitter, Instagram, all these kind of things. People like want their content to get noticed, even on an app like RYV.
And the reason for Anton removing Explore is because, the harassment and the bullying and all that does get to the top of Explore faster than anything, because everyone likes to see the tea and everyone likes to see the drama,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of staff harassment... Speaking of staff harassment...
Wait. For some context of people who don't know what's happening right now, we always have like a quote script or like an outline of each episode, and we basically just went through the first two and then jumped to the very last, and we're trying to get back on topic. So we're trying to make this segue to make it fit in with the next topic that's supposed to be coming up. It's so unnatural.
Sorry, aerei.
It's okay.
Well, speaking of staff harassment, I think there is a huge difference between holding staff accountable for their actions and harassing them, and I feel like the community has done both in the last week. I think the transphobic comments in the Discord were unacceptable.
The staff members take a lot of the hits, okay? They take so much, and there is a difference between, accountability and harassment, like Alex said, and that's absolutely right. That's not even close to wrong. But, you need to... Should Renee have been involved in the whole situation with Mystical? No. Absolutely not. She doesn't deserve the transphobic comments. Absolutely not. It's not fair to her, for someone who has been on this app for so long and who has done so much for all of us. Like Kak said, she did not have to set up the scavenger hunt. She doesn't have to do outfit of the day. She doesn't have to do room of the week. She doesn't have to do any of that for us. But she still does. And this whole situation should have been handled in private. Should have never made its way to high rise anyway, because, anyone wanting to know about what's going on with that situation right now, it's just entitlement, But the staff does not deserve to be harassed. Now, what Drax did and what he said on his video, or what he posted on his video on YouTube, that absolutely should not have been said. I will not defend him. I will not take... He's disgusting, and he needs to be held accountable for what he said. But, back to Anton, he doesn't deserve half the hate he gets, and people accusing him of being a pedophile with absolutely no evidence whatsoever. You know, people saying that in the Discord, and people harassing him. And then when we got on call with him the day after, he looked terrible. And like, that's not a shot at him, that's a shot at everyone, you know? This dude looks, he's not that old, and like, y'all are like attacking him, and he looked terrible. He looked tired, he looked stressed, he looked exhausted.
Ouch.
And I actually thought he was gonna topple over during that call, you know? Because he didn't look like that 2 weeks ago on the last call. He looked fine. Yeah. But now he was kind of like swaying a little bit, and he looked like he was gonna drop, and I was like, all right, and like, he still took that time to sit down with us, and he took that time to talk to us. And he was very attentive, and the reason his head was down the whole time is because he was taking notes. He was listening. It's not like he's just there and going, yeah. No, he was there and he was listening. And, you know, I just don't think I don't think half the shit he gets is fair. Y'all say they aren't good at their jobs when a lot of y'all don't know what half the shit that the staff members do for us.
Oh wait, about like we don't really know what staff do. Like, just like a little side note. I was originally going to interview Renee for this episode, which is why like you guys are here, because I was like, you guys are my backup, because I was like, if that doesn't go right, then I have you guys. But originally I was going to interview Renee, and one thing that I was trying to consider when I was making up like all the interview questions was like, what does she even do? Like, I barely know her. I only knew at the time that she does like CCC stuff, but then I didn't really know what else she did, and I was posting like all the questions for her, and she was like, do you want to know what I actually do for high-rise before you make questions? And I was like, sure. And then she gave me this gigantic list of stuff that she does, and I was just like, are you joking? I didn't know she did all of that. Like, she handles like the social media accounts, she handles like the community posts, like the high-rise EN account, and then she handles the CCC stuff, and I like, it just like the list went on and on and on and on, and I was like, I didn't know you did that, and I was just like, geez, you work too hard. Like, if she does all that by herself, like, I don't think she has any help from anyone. She does that all by herself. I can't even imagine like what all the other staff members are doing as well. Basically, my point is, we don't know anything. Like, we don't know half the stuff that staff does. Like, they can tell us that they're doing all that, but maybe they're downplaying it, you know? We don't know like anything that they're going through, and the fact that like people are just so bold enough to just like harass them and like call them names and just like literally like attack them all the time, I can't even like imagine. They don't even have time to go on the app, and people are just like, you guys aren't doing anything. I was like, what?
Yeah, and can I just say, like, do you think like Renee's like gonna like try to like be like less like connected with the app and all that, and just like try to work things like more backstage? Because like I know like some previous staff members have done that themselves. Like, I think there was like an older one, like, whose name like, oh. Do you want me to continue?
Bro, she left like 8 times.
I know. Okay, so there was like a... Again.
She said, I hate it here.
I swear, I'm gonna start talking and she comes back.
My mom called me in the middle.
Okay, so anyways, there was like an older staff member who used to be like active, like I think his name was Christian or something, and his girlfriend was a moderator, or is a moderator. I think she still is a moderator, and I think like he started like distancing himself from like actually like being a player of the app and all that. I think like working behind the scenes along with some other staff too, because like I knew like because there were like players like harassing them.
Wasn't Christian the guy that ran the radio?
Yeah, he ran the original like high-rise radio, and I think he was an admin too. But yeah, like I know some things happen along with like someone like trying to like Photoshop his girlfriend's head into like and like pretend it's like nudes and all that. Yeah, like what? That's like that happened. Like I don't know the whole context, but that's pretty much what I know. And like I think stuff like that, like the staff, they just like try to distance themselves from like the player base because they don't want to experience harassment from them.
I'm like shocked.
I know, like this was back in I think 2017 or 18, either one of those years.
Like,
but yeah.
What the heck? Like why? Why? just why? Like, why do you have the time to do that? Like, what?
I don't know like why they did it and like stuff like that, but I'm just wondering, like, I'm wondering the same thing, like, why would you do that sort of thing?
There's probably screenshots of it somewhere. Someone will find it.
Maybe, but I don't think it's on like any profiles and all that. I think those are all deleted.
As they should be.
The thing about, okay, you know, the thing about screenshots, which is like, it's related to this. You know how like, there are some people who are like, oh, why is everyone like defending Renee? There's like no proof of anything, whatever, there's no screenshots or whatever. Like, even if, like, first of all, we're not the type of people to screenshot everything, like all the tea and stuff. We're not that kind of people. I don't think anyone really is, like, not anyone, like, there are people, but like, there's, you don't have to screenshot everything. And I think the people who are asking like, where are the screenshots? Where's the proof? Like, I bet that they're always the people that like screenshot all the tea and stuff just to use them for later use, you know? Like, it's, why do you have to record everything that happens, like all the drama that happens? Like, you don't need to know everything. I don't know how to explain it. Like, we're not trying to fuel the fire. We're trying to squash it down and be like, harassment's not okay, period. Like, I hate like all the people under my posts who are like, what happened? What happened? Like, why do you need to know what happened? You don't need to know what happened. Like, it's not your business. If you're not involved, don't. I don't know, maybe that's like my own thing. Like, I just hate when people ask me like, what's happening? Like, you don't need to know. Like, it's not your business. Keep your nose out of it. It's fine if you don't know. Like, you don't have to be included in everything. Like you guys said earlier, you don't have to be included in everything. It doesn't matter. Like, in the next few months, I bet like no one's gonna, I don't want to jinx it, but like I bet like no one's really gonna care about all this stuff anymore. Why do you have to know everything now?
Like, half the people who want to know the tea, and like I said earlier, it's entitlement, you know? It's like, well, you know, I'm friends with this person and I'm friends with this person, so I should know what's happening, when it's happening, and why it's happening, and who it's happening to. You know what? No, you don't need to know, okay? Any situation that's going on in high-rise does not need the attention of the entire fucking community. All that shit did not need to be blasted in the Discord. It didn't need to be blasted on high-rise, and it didn't need to be blasted in DMs, and I will continue to say that.
Period. I do think that the players on high-rise should really be allowed to have their opinions on the game and on situations and stuff like that. And I think that's absolutely great. I think that's what's, in my opinion, is really good about Explore, is people can say their opinion on certain things, and I think that should be absolutely okay. But there is such a difference between sharing your opinion and literally going out of your way to harass staff and harass CCC and harass other players. I think if you come onto high-rise every single day and that's like the thing you're there to do is just harass other people, you should go somewhere else, to be honest. Like, and just chill.
Take it to Twitter.
Just chill.
Take it to Twitter. Twitter's good with
Take
that.
it to Twitter.
No one cares on high-rise. Please, like, don't make I just like spit. Okay, don't take all your problems and post it on high-rise. Like, high-rise is supposed to be like an escape from reality. I've heard a lot of people say that they use high-rise as like an escape from all the stuff that's happening in real life. I use it too for the same reason. And to see like all this drama on stuff, it just makes me want to quit. Like, I just don't want to be on the app anymore, like, period. Like, because it's just so annoying and petty. Like, I can find all this drama stuff on Twitter. I can find it on Instagram. I'm not trying to find it on high-rise. Why are people making so many problems? Like,
It's quarantine boredom is what it is.
It's true too.
Which is why cancel culture is becoming like bigger now. Like, one of the reasons.
People are bored in quarantine. They have nothing else to do, so they're gonna start drama and they're gonna watch drama.
Get a hobby.
Literally, you know, like, learn how to sew, you know, get some transferable skills, you know, take an online course. I don't know, but just chill out.
I didn't want to say this about like holding staff accountable and stuff. I agree, like, Renee should not have been in that entire situation, and I think like there's like a problem with staff, in my opinion, where they kind of like act out of emotion and not necessarily like out of reason. Is that a word? Reasonability? I don't even know. They're not being entirely like reasonable with like their bans and like warnings and stuff. Like, I think like staff as a whole need to kind of get some training on how to handle these kind of situations, because like Anton said, like, this is like the first time that they dealt with like an allegation against staff like that, and I kind of understand why you would feel the need to like act quickly and act like out of emotion, and like, you know, I understand that, but I like personally believe like that entire situation with like Mystical and stuff, it was so rushed and like unprofessional, and I was just like completely like in complete disagreement with what and with like how they handled it. But the people in that Discord who were just like flaming general and like general chat, who were just like flaming that entire channel and just like going off like rapid fire, it was just not okay either. Like you can
Sorry.
it's okay. You can like handle a situation with staff, but you don't have to like, you know, it should there's like there's problems on both sides, and I think people fail to realize that like we all have to work on our own problems together. We shouldn't be like calling out each other's problems and like trying to like jump on the bandwagon, trying to like cancel each other. We should work on it together and like I just swallowed my spit. I swallowed my spit. And we should try to handle these things together. Like we should try to work together instead of like trying to pit against one another. Like it's stupid. Like
I saw somebody in the Discord. I was like talking in there, and they were, and like it was me and Liberate, and we were talking, and then this guy was like, "Well, I don't exactly know what's going on, but everyone else is hating on the content creator, so I am too."
oh my
like,
Oh my god.
I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, you're hopping on something you aren't educated about, and then you're coming in and hating on people who literally are the same as you at this point. And you're like, oh, yeah, everyone else hates you, so I'm gonna hate you too. Like, what? That doesn't make any damn sense.
Why?
Yeah, well, I get why staff feel the need to address, you know, all these situations fast, especially the most recent one with Mystical and all that. And I think it's because when the community found out about it, it became like a huge thing, and there was such an uproar and such outrage. And I guess I understand why there was outrage. Like, obviously, it was so crazy what happened. But yeah, staff felt the need to address it fast because they could see it was growing and growing and growing. It was going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And unfortunately, this leads to poor decisions from staff members. Like with the decision that Renee made, I think everyone agrees that she shouldn't have done it the way she did it. And with a lot of the allegations we've seen recently, I think staff should take more time to like figure out how they're going to respond to it. And also, where I just said that, but yeah, they need to take more time with how they're going to handle situations instead of just doing it based on emotion and just trying to be as fast as possible because the community is outraged.
The community should not have been involved in that situation at all. Okay, so in this case, Mystical was the victim, and all of that should not have been put on blast for everyone to see. And I know if it was me, I would have been completely appalled. I would have been embarrassed, and I would have been so upset because having that out for everyone to see and know the details of is just awful.
I think what he wanted to do is, I think he was like, I don't know what he was thinking, but I believe he was trying to share his story in that moment, and just because he thought, okay, well, I got unverified, I'm going to say something that's like weighing me down for quite a while. And I think that's okay for him to say. And I think that was great of him to say. But unfortunately, the community are all going to bring in their opinions, and there were so many different opinions about it.
You know, the way Renee handled it with trying to facilitate a call between him and the staff member, I completely disagreed with that. I told Mystical that I disagreed with that, and I have been very clear that I still disagree with that. And of course, what we're saying now isn't excusing Renee for what she did, and this isn't excusing Anton, and this isn't excusing Drax, you know? They should be held accountable, but again, you cannot harass somebody to the point that they have to leave the app.
Yeah, all of them have made many mistakes over the years, and a lot recently as well. But I think the community is right to question a lot of them and expect answers from them. But I think so many people in the community are taking it way too far, and it really is just harassing at this point. And I think you just need to relax, just chill a little bit.
I wish like I could just tell everyone just like calm down, because like when I see these kinds of posts and like they're just like going off and like going crazy and all the comments are just crazy, I want to say, like, I want to comment like, hey, calm down, it'll be taken care of, whatever. But I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're just kissing up and stuff, like you're kissing up and you're trying to diffuse a situation. Like, yeah, because it doesn't have to be that big of a situation. Like, it should be handled privately. I don't understand why people have to publicly announce their opinion. My door open. I don't understand why people have to publicly announce their opinion and stuff. Like, it doesn't. Why? Like, I just don't see the point. Personally, okay, there are things where, like, if staff are listening, here's a list of things that I think could go public, and here's some things that I think should go private. First of all, game changes and updates, updates to, like, the, not terms of services, what's it called? The community guidelines, and, like, update to the game, and, like, new staff members who are joining the team, etc. Please make that public. Publicize that, please. We need to know, like, who is, like,
Period.
who is running our game, and, like, our game, that sounds so weird. Who is running the game, and, like, what changes are being made to the game. We have to know about that. But things like these private situations, like with Mystical, like private issues between players and staff, and like reasons why people are banned, etc. Private, those are private, has to be private, because as soon as you expose that info to the community, you're giving them a reason to egg on, is that a term? To egg you on, and like you're giving them a reason to hate on you, and little cough in there. And like I honestly think, like, if most of these issues weren't publicized, like, we wouldn't have such an outrage in the community, because they would just be handled in private. And I just, like, it should be private, or at least it should just be limited to those who are involved or affected. Like, for example, with Mystical and stuff, like, it should only have been kept between those two parties. It shouldn't have been told to even CCC, even though we're kind of close as staff. It shouldn't have been told to us. It's not our business. And like,
Renee was in the wrong for that.
We even told Mystical,
definitely.
like, yo, you shouldn't tell us, like, all this stuff, because, like, you should handle it first before you tell us. We told him that. And for Renee, or just like staff in general, to just like publicly let that out and just like tell us, like, why?
And that's never happened before. But this isn't like a regular thing that happens. We don't get announcements whenever somebody gets unverified or banned. And I was so confused when that post came out in the CCC part of the Discord. I was confused, and I was like, why is she posting this? Because it's all gonna blow back terribly on us. Like, okay,
Especially if there's a snake, like.
yeah, it's like, those screenshots were gonna get out regardless. Okay, not everyone those screenshots are gonna get out any which way that it happened, and it's not possible for anything to be secret in these chats.
Yeah, these kind of things, they should stay private. And that's for like a lot of these like serious like things that should be dealt in private, like general. Like, you guys remember like what happened yesterday with like Storefront Explorer?
No.
And like
What happened?
No.
Like those kind of like these kind of like certain photos that were like being posted there. Yeah, those things. Like, like how like whenever this kind of thing happens, like everyone just goes on and tells people and like tags their friends. It gets this thing more public. Like, and considering it was like a child at the time, it's just like, no, like, I mean, it's good to like raise awareness that this shouldn't be on the app, but at the same time, you're giving this like sort of like thing more attention. You're getting more people to see this sort of thing that could like traumatize a child and stuff like that, and like leave, like, you're just like sharing these kind of things with people that shouldn't be shared at all.
I like in hand with that. You've all said that the content creators need to be more like, they need to express more, that use our platform to say this person needs to be banned. But at the same time, if we post the @ of a person who needs to be banned, and then people go to that @ and they like the post and they share the post, it's just bringing more attention to the problem. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but as Arrow said, do not go to the pages, do not get the page attention, do not look at pictures,
Okay, I like whenever this kind of stuff happens, I usually just like anonymously like rant about it. I don't try to give the @ or anything. I just like rant about it, say like, this is unacceptable, there needs to be change and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, this sort of thing, like where like you're like just exposing the victim more. It just makes me think of like a situation like from I don't know if it's like a few weeks ago, with like another kid and like this man that was like, who was like getting her to like post pics and all that. Like, I'm just thinking like back then, like when they like, the first thing they did was like ban the victim of it, not the predator who did it. I'm like, you didn't ban him at the same time. You left the predator still in the app. Thank God they did get banned though, like an hour later. I'm just so appalled by that.
The thing, you know what I like about ranting anonymously, like not giving any ads and stuff, is like I like when people out themselves because the shoe fits. I'm just like like I didn't at you or anything. You just put yourself in this situation, and I mean, good for you for knowing that your own problems and stuff. I think it's just funny. So our next topic is kind of like about censorship. We've kind of already touched on this about how like CCC are given a bit more of a voice rather than normal players, and like how explore posts can get taken down and stuff. So yeah, that's the topic.
Yeah, and like even though like I am CCC, I have experienced like censorship myself, like from Explore. Like I remember like with like a couple times I expressed my opinion about something, and that post just was taken off of Explore. Like I remember like I tried to say something about like give me a reason why there isn't any mods. I think I already touched this on like a previous podcast, but like I'm just like give me a reason why you aren't giving. Give me a reason why you are not hiring any more mods. And then that post just was taken off of Explore.
And you know, when we did our first Zoom call with Anton, he explained that we've tried to bring on, like, they brought on more mods a long time ago, and obviously the ones that we know of, you know, Princess Peach and Cosmic, and that's like literally the only ones that I'm aware of that are actually actively moderating. But you know, he said that he had a, you know, quote, PTSD about it because he's had mods who would abuse the power that they've been giving. And, you know, that's wrong, but there are certainly people who are trained in this type of thing to, you know, moderate. And like I've seen posts from, I think it was Classy Satan, maybe, they were talking about getting trusted players or players who've been here for a long time to moderate. And I don't think that's a terrible idea, but I think, you know, they'd have to be very, very careful with the selection of what they post.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
What they've, you know, what they've said in the past.
Yeah.
And what they may say. CCC are getting. Imagine if a content creator gets a moderation power. Fucking riots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had my post taken off Explore before. I've been censored like multiple times for like various reasons. I had an outfit taken off. I guess it was too ugly. I don't know. I think it's obvious that Explore is taking down posts that criticize the company. I feel like that's the main reason post gets taken down. Like with the mods, I also had a post taken down because I was calling for more mods, and I think there was just anytime you say anything about high-rise, it gets taken down. And I suppose I understand why. But also, like, I really believe like the players of high-rise should be allowed to have their opinions and should be allowed to say respectfully what they want from high-rise and anything like that. And yeah, I think Explore is vital for them to have that.
Like I feel like it's just like I feel like any like sort of player, no matter if they're like a regular player or just like if they have the content creator badge, like they will experience censorship no matter what. And I feel like it's a little like I don't know if I'm just saying this, but like I feel like it's like a little bit harder for like content creators to like voice out their opinions and all that because like they could have the chance to get their star removed.
I've since before I've been verified, I've been speaking out against the community, and I've had memes taken down off Explore. But I think when people see my memes and they just laugh, I don't think they're really looking into the messages that I'm like that are inside of the memes, because I'm very vocal and like not verbally but like in these memes, and I'm very vocal about how I feel about the community, and I have been since I started making them, and that's been wildly overlooked. And it's not that I'm not vocal, you're just not seeing where I am vocal.
Yeah,
like,
I've spoken up. I've spoken up a lot too about so many different things, and yet so many people have said, "Oh, he's so scared to speak up because he's worried he'll get his star taken away." Like, no, I've had so many posts removed on Explore. I've had Renee message me before. Like, I speak up and I don't care because I believe I should be able to. If I'm respectful, I should be allowed to speak up. And I think, yeah, just I don't know.
No, it's okay. It's like
I keep starting sentences and then like right as we get in the end, I already forgot what I'm gonna say.
me.
Okay,
That's honestly
same.
me. That's why I write everything down. But oh, now I forgot what I was gonna say. But I was gonna say something kind of similar. Wait, no. Oh yeah, I don't like how people like think that our opinions are dictated based off our badges. And sure, like there are some CCC who are like, I don't want to speak up or cause drama because I don't want to be unverified and stuff. That's okay. I don't know why people think that's such a bad thing. Like some creators are just kind of nervous to like speak up because they just haven't before, or like they're too shy, like, or not too shy, they're too afraid of like all the backlash in the community, etc. I don't know why we're hating on them. That's their own choice. So like, why can't they just make their own choice? And like, why can't you accept that they're just not gonna be as vocal? Like, that's fine if they're not as vocal. It's fine. Like, cause I used to be that way too. Like when I was first verified, I was like, okay, okay, I don't want to like start anything. I don't want to be involved in anything. I want to stay drama free. I want to be unbothered by everything. But the more I started like the more I started like getting a little bit more involved with like CCC and like a little bit more involved with the community, I was like, yeah, there's something wrong, and I feel bad not saying anything about it. And it was like a really gradual change for me to realize like, I don't care that if I get my star taken away. Like, it's just a star. I'm gonna be the same person if I don't have it. Like,
Exactly. I've said that numerous times. Like, if I get my badge taken for speaking out, then I get it fucking taken. That's just how it is.
Yeah, it like, it doesn't define us. Like, maybe it might to some people, and if it does, that's fine. That they're their own person. You don't have to judge or hate on them for being a little bit quiet, you know? And you can't rush someone to do what you want them to do. They're just gonna feel the need not to because you're rushing them, if that makes any sense.
Anyway, so I think that some people on High-Rise pick and choose which creators they are going to like attack and say they need to speak up most. Like, I know I've had it so many times. I feel like I'm the number one person people have gone for that they think should speak up about every single issue. I don't know why I feel like that, but I really just do. When there's so many other people that get on Explore just as much as me, who I've never seen them been asked or called out to speak out before. Which is why it's kind of stupid, because if you want people to speak out about an issue, ask everyone. Don't just go for one person and then harass them about it. And then when they post about it, then call them out again and say, oh, you're so fake because you only did it because I forced you to.
Yeah.
Quote unquote forced you to.
They're just trying to
Like,
start something.
Most of the content creators are just dead in the water. We're literally just surrounded by all sides. It's like, no matter what you do, you're gonna get eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about the issue, then you should focus on trying to get your message across about that issue instead of focusing on why someone posted it. Like, they posted it. You should be grateful they posted it. That's all I have to say. Damn, now I'm getting heated.
There's like also another thing, like some creators aren't even there for the social aspect. Like, they just want to post art, make cute outfits, etc. I don't understand why you have to generalize all CCC to be people that are supposed to speak out against issues and stuff. Like, not all of us are like, what's the term for it? Like, not all of us are able to like do that, you know? Some of us,
yeah,
like,
some people are like
don't
14 years old, and then
Yeah.
there's others like
Oh my
Maz,
goodness,
who
yeah.
she said she isn't 14 years old, but like she's older, but she said herself that she's not the best at publicly speaking up like that. And Maz is, it doesn't matter how old Maz is, but she is old. She's basically my age.
She's
but anyway,
she's a grandma.
Fucking ancient!
some CCC just really aren't comfortable doing that, and they've said themselves they're not the best at wording how they feel about certain situations, and also they're not educated on it, or they haven't been on High-Rise when the event has gone down. So like, I don't know how you could expect so many of them to like have all these opinions and speak up about it when they don't. Not everyone's able to do that.
Some people are just uncomfortable with it, and pressuring them to do it isn't going to make them want to do it anymore. And like Alex said, you know, they do it from the pressure, and then people are like, oh, you're fake, you know?
Literally.
And like people like Zoe, who are they go down there to post art, and Zoe shit posts a lot, and you know, she actually has been like told us she doesn't like to get involved, and she doesn't like to just insert herself into the situation because she is just, you know, she just doesn't want to. It makes her uncomfortable, and a lot of the time all the drama on High-Rise makes people uncomfortable, and forcing them to do it and forcing them to be in the middle of it is just toxic and terrible.
It's kind of like forcing someone to, I don't know how to explain it, to be like your entertainment, if that makes any sense. Like,
Yeah.
you're forcing them to do something uncomfortable so then you can get some pleasure out of it. Not pleasure, that's a weird word to say, but like some
that's
kind
accurate.
of like, I don't know how to explain it, you know? You know what I mean though? Like people just
Gratification.
Yeah, sure. That works. Gratification. Like I don't understand. Like why, if someone doesn't want to be involved, just leave them alone. Like like you don't have to. I don't even know what I was gonna say, but okay, it made sense. The other stuff I was saying made sense. So our last kind of topic for today is gonna be maybe like kind of a discussion on how to like not fix, but like how we can work towards like fixing all these issues related to like opinions and stuff. Because I know Anton said like where he's gonna remove explore just because like we want to take the toxicity off of high rise and stuff, and like try to make it a bit more of a safer like place to be in, if that makes sense. But I think like there is stuff that staff can do to make high rise a safer place, but there's some stuff that we as a community need to work on as well. Like it isn't just one-sided. We can't just expect staff to fix everything. We have to do some work ourselves too. Maybe not ourselves,
Absolutely.
but like we all have to work on this together. Like it isn't, I know, okay, Silver, I know you told me this like a few weeks ago or something, but like it shouldn't be like players against staff. It should just be like all of us against like our problems together. And
Exactly. This isn't like I said, this isn't high school. Like
Yeah.
Anton said on the call, this is
This
not
is high
high school, but we act like high schoolers, and it's not even wrong.
he said what he said, period.
Yeah, period. Like we all agreed with it, you know, he was right. This place is like a high school sometimes. It's very cliquey, and you know, everything is just, you know, this person against this person, or this group against this group, you know, you have this crew and this crew. And it's like everybody needs to just calm down sometimes, you know?
Calm down, and we need to like assess our situation, and instead of like going against other people just because they have a different opinion, like try to understand where they're coming from. And I think that's kind of like the disconnect between like our views versus like player views when it comes to staff. I think a lot of like players think that we empathize with staff just because like we're kiss ups or whatever, but in my opinion, at least, I empathize with staff because, you know, they're humans just like us. Like they're not any different from us. They just have like a, you know, they just happen to like make the game how it is right now. But like they're still deep down, they're still humans. They still have emotions. Like if you were getting harassed because of like mistakes that you made, how would you feel? You know.
A lot
And
of people. Oh, go ahead,
I
Alex.
think it's. Thank you. I think. Yeah, that's why when I talk, you. No, I'm kidding. I think we need to remember that every single person you message on this game and every single person you talk to is a real person. So whenever you're saying this about someone, or like you're going off on staff, or you're going off on a CCC member, just because they've got a large following or they've got a staff badge, they're probably going to read what you say, and that will affect them. I know it affects me when I read a whole bunch of things that I think people don't think I see. I think you need to remember that there are people behind the screen, so be careful what you say. And yeah, I think there's a mob mentality on Harrows for sure. I think people will stand up for their crew members just because they're crew members, and I think there is just a lot of just unnecessary drama that it really is like high school in this game. And I think we just, as a community, we just need to like try get past that. I don't know if we will, but I think a lot of the adults on this game, and there are a lot of them, I think should, you know, really double think twice. They should, a lot of the adults in this game should think twice about what they say online.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny that like
Period.
a lot of adults are more immature than like children. I find that so funny. Like you're just making yourself look silly at this point. Like you like
For
if you're
real.
gonna be an adult and like try to make Harris a better place, like act like an adult. Be a role model. Like I know a lot of people think that CCC are why did I say it like that? I know a lot of people think that CCC are supposed to be like role models and stuff, and to an extent that's true. But to another extent, like, why do we have to be the role models? Like, why can't other, like, non-verified people also be role models and stuff, you know? Like, it's not our responsibility to be, like, the beams of light in the community and stuff. It's everyone's responsibility to like do their part and to, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Like, just, I don't know why it's so like difficult to emphasize this. Like, it's simple. Just be a good person. Like, just like have your head over your heart, or not. That's the wrong phrase. Keep your head above your shoulders and like just be sensible about what you're saying and what you're like believing in. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like,
Yeah. Or another way to say it is, if you wouldn't say it to the person face to face, then don't say it online.
Yes, that's true. Like, I would love to see all these people in real life talk to each other and try to like front themselves in front of each other. I would love to see that. Like, because they're not gonna be able to do it. Like,
Some people on here just act like children.
yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm eating Takis and a little bit of dust went down the wrong pipe.
Oh.
I've been eating this whole time. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, just, you know, they want to go after the staff because, you know, like, they're the authority figure in this situation, and I guess they kind of see it as, like, in high school, it's kind of like a rebellion thing, but, you know, they're not just, like, robots. We're not talking about, like, the Jimmy bot, and we're not talking about Claire, we're not talking about whoever the fuck else. We're talking about human beings here, and you need to have a little bit of empathy for them.
Are there any last... Okay, so this is the final episode for now. I did mention in the beginning that maybe I might make a season 2. I'm not really sure.
Ooh.
Probably might not, because this is time consuming and it doesn't get views anymore. So, like, I don't know if it's worth it, but we'll see. I might make a season 2, but I'm not really sure. So
This will get views, trust me. I will get this all over Explore. That is a promise.
if this is the last episode, is there anything that you guys want to say? Like, is there any like last final words or any shout-outs
Yes.
or whatever?
Yes.
Go.
I just want to say, first of all, I have a few things I want to say. I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to make this series.
Oh.
I think the community loves the series so much. I really do. And I think staff love it so much, and I think it's such a great idea. And we're so grateful, and also thank you for having me as a guest twice. I feel like an all-star right now. And on to shout-outs, I guess. I said this last time, but I'll say it again. Use hashtag RMO, RMO. And also, yeah, just use RMO, don't forget. Every single post.
There's like thousands of entries.
Me
Literally,
next.
last time I was on here, I remember saying there was 400 on the RMO tag, and now there's
my gosh.
7,000 on it.
Oh my god.
That is crazy.
Christ.
Is the outfit hashtag now.
Literally.
So yeah, thanks for getting it to 7,000. I thank this series for getting it,
Oh
giving
my
it
gosh.
promo.
Me next?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, I wasn't done.
Bruh.
Also, just kidding. Just kidding.
Since Alex plugged his tags, I'm gonna plug my tags. Make sure you check out hashtag DOD, hashtag underrated, hashtag shadow memes, you know, because I have everything, literally every tag called. Thank you guys for having me. I really like it here. We should do it again, but not since this is the last episode.
Maybe I'll make like an alternate like series, like raise your voice
again.
again.
Oh my goodness, I have such a good idea.
Louder.
I have such a good idea.
Yeah?
You could do like a high-rise... Wait. Like a high-rise... Not... like, what do you call those things? Like, a game show. A high-rise game show.
Oh.
Where it's like...
You mean what you
You know?
did and then I got copied?
There's like one main reason I want to end this series, not only because it's kind of dead and also because it's hard to make, but also because I wanted to start a new series, kind of like, not like a game show, but like that's a good idea. I'm gonna think about it, but you know, there is like a series I wanted to make, but I haven't planned it fully yet because I'm too busy with this freaking series. But you know, there's my plug. But anyway, MakennaC, is there anything you want to say?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really enjoyed coming on here, speaking out, all that kind of stuff.
Don't send for the badge.
I know, I feel like, okay, another thing about like a CCC and like kissing up and stuff, like if I were like actually like dormant about this stuff, and if you guys were also dormant about this stuff, I don't think this podcast would have existed. Like, I made this podcast specifically to call out issues, and maybe sometimes I didn't really call it issues, but like I made it like specifically so I can call it issues and get staff to listen. And I think the series did a good job doing that, even if, you know, it's kind of like fizzing out a little bit. Like, I know for sure I got staff to listen. Like, staff were literally on my podcast like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, I know for sure.
Impact.
There's an impact, even if it isn't gigantic, it's still an impact somewhat, in my opinion. And
Yeah. We need to make sure this finale is like huge.
yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. I was like, oh gosh. I was like, this is unprepared, like this is unorganized and stuff, but I hope it packs a punch somewhat.
Gotta go out with a bang.
Like, even to like anyone who's listening like months in the future or something, like I hope these issues are resolved by now. Hopefully. If they're not, I'm so sorry. But you know, I like thinking that this podcast is kind of like a time capsule of like all the issues that we used to have. Maybe not used to have, maybe we still have them, but you know, all the issues that we had or have had, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's really crazy for me because I was actually watching the episode I was on like yesterday again, and I was just listening to some of the things that we were saying then. Just, it was so crazy how different it is from that episode to this episode, and just how much has happened. And I think that's what's so cool about this series, is that we've seen a lot of the issues on how it's changed over time, and also how some of them have stayed the same for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's it's just so cool that we've got like a time capsule. And also I love that I'm on it, because now I've got a time capsule of like what I was doing at that particular time compared to like what I was doing at this particular time. Like, I didn't know I was going to host the damn Met Gala all the way back then. But yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wow, this is actually really it. There is one more thing I wanted to address before I really end this series, and that is people who want to copy this concept. And I think, okay, no, it's not that big of a deal, but like, okay, here's my thing, right? Okay, technically you guys don't have to be listening to this part, but like, here's my thing about that, right? Is I've gotten, over the course of these past like 5 months or whatever, I've gotten a lot of messages like, hey, I want to start a podcast on my own, like, how did you do it? Like, is it okay if I make a podcast, whatever? I've gotten a lot of those messages. I've told everyone, it's fine if you do it, just don't copy the same exact thing that I do, where I just, like, you know, raise your voice, like, don't copy, like, that's pretty obvious what I just said. But, you know, I've always been the kind of person who just doesn't like people messing with my ideas or, like, taking, like, a big inspiration from it, but I think over time I've kind of gradually gotten okay with it. So I think if any of you guys listening right now want to make your own podcast, make your own like talk show, whatever, it's fine. Obviously don't copy me. Like don't, like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, just make it original, okay? Because
that actually reminds me, that kind of reminds me of how, like, with RMO, a lot of people asked me if they could do their own, and I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. Because I feel like there's a big difference between that and, like, straight up copying absolutely everything someone did. And that's what has happened.
The layout, T.
We're not going to get into the details, but yeah, there's such a difference between not copying, but, like, being inspired by, like, a podcast, which is such a general thing, like a podcast in general, you could do it many different ways, and like with outfit reviews you could also do that many different ways, but like, don't copy the whole concept of this. Like, try make it your own.
Yeah, I really respect people who are trying to make it their own. Like, I know there's like someone wanted to start a series kind of like this. I don't know if they actually did it, but the idea that they gave me, like kind of making a podcast but making it different, I was like, heck yeah, I respect that, because you're making it different and you're gonna credit me, etc. That's great. Like, making your own. Don't like piggyback off of my stuff and like try to say it's your own and stuff. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I hate talking about this because I don't want to sound entitled to like my content and stuff, but like,
I mean, you are entitled to your content.
Okay, well, that's not what I meant, but like like, just be sensible, don't copy. People are gonna know if you copy, trust me, they will know. I will know, definitely. So, but besides that, just have fun, because I highly encourage everyone to to raise your voice. I I don't know. I just highly encourage everyone to like say their own opinions. Don't go too far to harass people, but you can say your opinions respectably and stuff, like we have been saying for this entire episode. But yeah,
Just go easy on the staff, guys. They're trying. They are.
if we had to like derive like specific like points about this episode, is number 1, be nice. Number 2, be mature. Number 3, don't harass people, especially staff, especially CCC. Don't harass anyone. Doesn't even matter who they are. Just don't harass anybody. And number 4, be original and be cool. Yay. Those are the 4.
Be cool.
Be cool. Be chill.
Be
Oh my
cool.
gosh, number 5, be chill. Be chill.
Literally, yeah. Relax.
Calm
Number 6,
down.
Relax.
Like, if you see something blowing up and you're like, oh my gosh, this gets me so mad, before you type anything in response, just calm down and assess the situation and just be like, am I gonna contribute anything if I comment? If no, get the heck away. Like, go away.
Yeah.
If
That's
And
where I
number
need to
7
take that advice.
And number 7, use
We're-
hashtag Armo on your
number
outfits.
7? We're on number 6.
Number
Oh,
8, don't sip for the badge.
Number 10, yeah.
Number 15, Burger King foot
King
lettuce.
foot lettuce.
Oh my gosh. This is what being CCC is like. Everyone's like, you guys like always talk about drama with each other. No, we talk about mulch and that's it.
Lettuce.
And lettuce.
I talked about for like half an hour how much I hate horses. I really don't like horses.
Really? You give up horse girl vibes.
Oh,
Okay,
call her out.
first of all-
That's gonna be the last message of this podcast series. Do you seem like a horse girl person? Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it. Yay.
And
We
don't
did it.
forget, when you go out into the world and do whatever you want to do, don't
Wear a
forget to
mask.
raise your voice and wear a mask, yes.
Raise your voice under the mask.
Right.
Be
Oh my gosh.
loud. Be loud under the mask.
This is such a stupid outro. Okay. Well,
Period.
anyway,
Just
go-
end it on the period.
Yeah. Period. Okay. No. Say
Period.
say it one more
Period.
time. Say it one more time.
Okay. Period.
Pick up the mic and make some noise. Raise your voice. You thought the episode was over? No, it ain't. Jeez. Y'all playing too much, okay? For real though, I just want to say one last thing that I didn't really mention in the original recording. Maybe not one last thing, but there's just a couple of things I wanted to say. So, I'm gonna get a little serious, you know. I made this podcast during a time where my channel was kind of dying. Some of my viewers might recall that I made this like whole survey thing, asking my viewers like, what content should I make, etc. Like, where should I go with this channel? That was during the time I made this podcast. I was just really lost content-wise, and I was really tired and burnt out when it came to making videos. And you know, I picked up this idea like for this podcast. It wasn't my original idea, by the way. It came from my crew. I picked up this idea just to jog my video making mood again after like about a year of like messy general content, and I did not expect all the support, you know, like all the support I've gotten from the series, whether it was big with like certain episodes that blew up or just small with episodes with like a couple hundred views, or not. That sounds so like that's big. I mean like the episodes that were like about 100 views, like 100 or less, you know, big or small, like any support, it was just outstanding to me, and it was just like just shocking in general. And it really inspired me over time to like consider making more videos again. And even though, yes, this series definitely burnt me out, it burnt me out so bad, I just want to say I'm really, really thankful for what this has done for me, and I'm really ready to move on to other types of content, even if it's high-rise related, whether it's high-rise related or not, you know. So this is most likely the end of the line for Raise Your Voice, a podcast by Ari, but it's definitely not the end of the line for my videos in general. So throughout the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna plan on taking some time to like plan out my next steps for this channel, and hopefully you guys are gonna stay for the ride, you know? If you're a regular viewer, regular as in like you come to watch this channel a lot, you might have noticed that I never really ask for likes and comments and subscribers and whatever. But this might be an exception, sort of. You know, I've worked really, really hard on this series. You can ask any of the guests who have been on here. They know the process that I've been through, where I just like plan out so much and I take days, like weeks to plan out episodes. They know. You can ask any of them. I've worked really, really hard in this series for the past few months, you know, and I'm only gonna ask for one thing, like one main thing, you know, and that is to share my channel with your friends, you know, share it in your Discord servers, share it with your crews and group chats, share it amongst your family members, share it literally to anyone. Just all I'm asking is spread my name and my channel just anywhere as far as you can. You could redirect people to one of your favorite videos of mine, or show them my art, or just like, you know, show them anything of mine, my Instagram, my Twitter, my channel, it doesn't matter. Share my name, you know, get my name out there. That's all I'm asking. You don't even have to like or comment or subscribe, even though that's really very much appreciated. You don't have to. Just spreading the word that this series exists, or that my channel exists in general, that's enough for me in return for all these hours, days, weeks, months that I put into this series. And if you want to go the extra mile, you know, stay up to date on what I'm doing and what I'm working on, you can join my Discord server. Literally all the links that you'll ever need from me, like pertaining to like my social media and stuff, all in the description of every video. It's all in there. So join my Discord server. Yeah. Anyway, and lastly, of course, just thank you all so much for joining me on this roller coaster of emotions, you know, listening to all my opinions on all the ups and downs of High Rise, and even just listening up to this point, because, you know, maybe some people have left by now. I know not everyone listens to the entirety of all these podcasts, and that's fine, you know, I don't really mind, but even if you're listening to what I'm saying right now, I appreciate you so much. And, you know, normally I don't really say thank you, like, I don't like being sappy like this, if that makes sense, but just the fact that I'm saying this right now, I really, really appreciate it, you know? You mean a lot to me. Like, you listening, you mean a lot to me. And even if you're technically, like, just one viewer out of hundreds, whatever that, like, saying is, like, just a number, whatever, without you listening, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Like, you contribute to a bigger thing that's affecting me, if that makes sense. You know, that makes sense, right? So, you know, just in general, thank you all so much for everything, and, you know, don't forget to to raise your voice. Don't forget to raise your voice. That's literally the point of the series. And that's on what? That's on what? That's on period. That's on period.